What's up? So there's a 10-second delay. I'm sorry. Hello. There's a 10-second delay. So let me test my audio. Testing, testing, testing. Okay, cool. So my audio is working. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. I'm so glad y'all are here. Welcome to the second, the second um Conquer Learning Company grand opening. I'm not gonna keep it in. I'm gonna take it out. I was looking for my other webcam because it's nighttime and so my lighting, like I don't know. Y'all know I'm not hold on. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but it's okay. I know y'all can see me. Let me fix my stuff. All right. So I have people in our private community. Hey y'all. Let me see. We are streaming to Facebook. Facebookity book. We are streaming to YouTube. All right. All right. So let's go. All right. First of all, thank you so much for being here at session number 2 of the grand opening of Conquer Learning Company. I'm so happy that you are here and we are here together. Let's see. Thank you so much. So much. All right. So I'm going to get into it because I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Y'all know how I do. So this weekend celebrates the fact that on Monday, Conquer Learning Company is going to be open to the public. So what that means is that over the past year, I'd say year and a half, I have been rebuilding and restructuring all of my offers, all of my product suite and everything, but I only made it available to select people, like people that I selected, people that I reached out to. Well, starting on Monday, anyone from anywhere will be able to go online and transact business with Conquer Learning Company. So I am super excited about that. Super happy, super happy. All right, so let's get into it. Let's get into it. So I'm gonna start at the beginning. I started working in the suicide prevention field in 2012. 2012. I was on social media and I saw that a young girl named Dominique Chandler had died by suicide. And I was like, oh my goodness. But it really resonated with me in a way that it hadn't before. Because, you see people, unaliving themselves all the time, but it did something to me and it made me feel like there was something I needed to do. And so I had my first suicide prevention event. It was a conference call. It was in September of 2012. And I think like maybe 13 people were up there. And from there, in 2014, I told my story. It went viral on YouTube. Now keep in mind, going viral in 2014 was a big deal because we didn't have all the stuff we have, now, and YouTube was so much different. But my story went viral. I did like a spoken word with like an artistic video. It was so amazing, if I do say so myself. And so from there, I became known as Not on My Watch Nicole, Suicide Prevention Nicole. And it's so amazing how my journey has been very organic. Like I didn't wake up one day and was like, "Oh, I want to do this." It organically happened, and that's how I know that I am on the path that I'm supposed to be on. So, having said that, I started in 2019. I started to realize that my work was taking too much out of me. Like I was doing so much. I was spending so much money. Like it was just a lot. And I said, God, there has to be a better way. And so in 2019, I did the most work. I was everywhere. I was speaking, I was emailing people, I was going live on social media. I was doing like so much stuff. And in 2020, at the end of 2020, 2020 or 2021, I can't remember because the panda, I'll say, was such a blur. Um, but it came out that in 2019, the suicide numbers decreased like the sharpest decline in over a decade. And I said, wow, the year I did the most work, the numbers went down. That has to mean something, right? And so, if you're familiar with spiritual concepts, Dr. Cindy Trim teaches about this thing called a metron. And what that means is that we all have levels of authority and jurisdiction based on the things that we've been through. So if you fight something and you beat it, you now have authority in that realm. You now have authority to speak in that realm. You have authority to, hey, Apostle Lena Allah, hey. Um, you have authority to speak in that realm. You have authority to legislate and govern in that realm. And so, one thing that I realized over time is that the work that I do is not just passive, but it is definitely legislative and governmental in nature, from a spiritual perspective. And so, a lot of times, when I talk to people and they say that they're going to unalive themselves, I'm like, you're not. And I say that with authority and I mean it. No one that I have talked to, when it comes to suicide has unalived themselves. Now, some of them have died, from other causes, but those causes weren't self-inflicted. And so what you are witnessing is me understanding who I am and taking who God has made me and putting myself in my rightful place. And let me just say this, and this is not a dig, this is not a shot, this is not any of that at anyone, right? But I'm gonna say your name right. Come on now. You know how we get down, Apostle Lena Allah. You have been so supportive of me, and I really appreciate that. Y'all, Apostle Lena Allah gave me a word. I listen to that word like every month. I'll go live and talk about it another day, but I listen to that live every month. But this is not a dig, and this is not a shot at anyone, right? But I tried so hard to make who God made me and what God called me to do and to be fit into a container that it wasn't designated or destined to be in, right? I am a church baby. Like, give me a hymn, and it can be the blue hymn book or the red one. It don't matter to me. Give me a devotional song, give me whatever, and I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm with it. I'm with the cliches, the scriptures, the quartet music. I'm with all of it. I grew up in that, but that's not where God wanted me to be. Not saying I don't go to church. I go to church every Sunday. I have amazing spiritual leadership. They're amazing. I love them. They are so just truly the best, honestly. But I understand that my leadership and my calling and my anointing is not for that space exclusively, right? And so it's hard when you grow up in something and you want so much to reap, you know, in the field that you planted so much of your life and so much of your gifts and so much of your resources in. But the truth of the matter is that true to the literal ministry of Jesus, right? Thank you. I appreciate that. True to the ministry of Jesus, Jesus had a sending ministry. Like, I'm going to send you. I don't want you to just stay here with me and follow me, right? I want you to follow me so that I can teach you how to go and do what it is that you're supposed to do. And so I have had to learn that my ministry, my gifts, my calling are for the marketplace and the world. And honestly, y'all, if I'm gonna be truthful, I had to grieve the fact that I will likely never be what I envision myself being as far as like being in ministry, and that God literally called me to start and to run my company, and that running my company is holy and sacred work, and that running my company is ministry, um just as much as preaching and praying and prophesying and being in the church world is, right? I had to go through a process of grieving the fact that the the system that I grew up in may never fully embrace the truth of who I am. But whether they embrace it or not, the truth of who and what I am is still true. The way in which I am called to show up in the world was predestined and predesignated by God, because God knew that these perilous times would come. And God knew that there would need to be a company like mine to meet the needs of people that the church, that the systems of this world, because quiet as it's kept, the religious system is a system of this world. I know your church is different because y'all in the kingdom. I know. But like seriously, the religious system, the religious system, right? Not the church buildings, but the religious system is a system of this world. That's why they don't have to pay taxes, because it's a system of the world. The world intends to use the religious system to keep people in bondage. That's a whole nother story, a whole nother teaching for a whole nother day. And I know your church ain't like that, so I ain't talking about y'all. But if you really think about it, the system, and we see this with what's going on in the world, and how people are equating with the Lord, right? It's a system of this world. And so it, along with all the other systems of this world, are failing people. And so God has called people. That's right, Apostle Lena Allah. I'm doing it just in another direction. That's right. God has called people to um operate in a different capacity, and that's okay. So if you're watching this and you feel that you have a calling, you have to understand that leadership is sacred and holy and righteous work, regardless of where you are. You know, the Bible says, I have sheep that are not of this fold. They're somewhere else. And I had to learn to just walk boldly where I'm supposed to walk. And so because of that, I'm doing that right now in front of y'all. And so yeah, that's a little bit of my journey. So let's talk about my company. So I officially started Conquer Learning Company in 2021. And it has taken me from 2021 until now to really formulate what it is that I want to do, what it is that I'm called to do, and all of that, right? And so with my company, we are going to be working with a few different audiences, and I'm going to talk to y'all about that. Let me also say this. Y'all know my name is like literally synonymous with suicide prevention. Like when you think of somebody wanting to unalive themselves, you think about me, right? I don't take that lightly, but I also am super proud that I have built such a strong brand. And so I know that because I have built this brand the way that I have, that my company is going to grow exponentially because all I'm doing is taking who I am and infusing it into my company, right? And so, one of the things that my company is going to be in 2025 is a global training center. So, the purpose of my company is to teach influential people, leaders, companies, CEOs and small business owners, social media influencers, celebrities, like people of influence, people of leadership, how to incorporate life saving strategies into their everyday work so that we don't have situations where someone comes to work and they're at your workplace all day and they go home and unalive themselves and their families and they walk past 20 people in your company and nobody caught on to it, or someone is sitting in a meeting with you and because you don't know the types of questions that you should ask whenever you gather people together, um you don't ask what needs to be asked. And because of that, the person doesn't get the opportunity to express where they are. And because they don't get the opportunity to express where they are, they don't get the help that they need. Now, a lot of times when people are leaders, one of the reasons that you don't want to intervene is because you don't want to be responsible, right? You don't want the bulk of or the burden of whether someone lives or dies to be on you, right? And so, because you don't want it to be on you, you would rather not say anything than to say something and say the wrong thing. So, one of the things that Conquer Learning Company is going to do is teach you as a leader the frame of mind you should have, the questions you should be asking people, and the resources that you should be giving people so that they are able to get the assistance that they need, not so that you can solve all of their problems, but so that you can point them in the direction of whoever the problem solvers are. Because let me tell y'all what's about to happen. Now, I'm not going to get political because you can vote for who you want to vote for. I do not care, child, at all. Do not care. However, I know other people do, but baby, the people died so that you could vote. So whatever you did, but either way you slice the turkey, I don't know that you slice a turkey different ways. Either way you slice the pizza, right? Because you can slice a pizza like this way, or you could do the square. Yeah. Either way you slice the pizza, it's about to be a little rocky, right? I told everybody in my morning session that the age of the average empire is 250 years. America is 248 years old. So inevitably, regardless of who is in the White House, the Black House, the Blue House, your house, my house, the world is going to get crazy. America is going to get crazy because, not scientifically, historically speaking, countries can't get along with 250 years on average. And then the people just start breaking up. Like, I remember when it was like a country called Czechoslovakia, and now it's like the Czech Republic, and like it's like all these different places. And y'all remember like the Roman Empire and the Russian Empire and all these little empires, right? And they just like the people just get to fighting and stabbing each other and stuff, right? Because empires do not last, and America is an empire. And America, as we know it today, is not going to always be here. Eventually, America will be multiple countries. History repeats itself. We see this play out all the time in other places. And so, as we're going through this period of uncertainty, you need to know what to do because people are not going to be okay. I was reading a study and it was talking about how road rage has doubled in Texas since 2018. And so people are more violent, people are more on edge. People are not okay. And if you are a leader, whether you're a pastor, whether you own a company, whatever it is, people are going to start coming to you because the systems that would normally be in place to help them are not going to be in place. They're not going to have the money. They're not going to have the resources. They're not going to have the personnel. They're not going to have it. And I'm not trying to doom and gloom you. I'm just telling you what it's going to be. So you as a leader are going to have to have, or you're going to have the responsibility of being as resourceful as you can so that you can help the people that you are literally called to help, right? A lot of times when it comes to people who want to unalive themselves, we always think about therapy. Like go to therapy, go to therapy, go to therapy. Number one, I don't believe that everybody who wants to unalive themselves should go to therapy. If you want to unalive yourself because your job doesn't make ends meet, you need to go to somebody that's going to help you get a better job. A resume coach, a job recruiter, a headhunter, somebody that's going to help you get a better job so that you can stop crying every day and every night about not having a good enough job. Then, once you get that problem resolved, then you go to therapy and talk about your life and your mama, your daddy, and all of that, right? But we need to get your immediate need solved first. You get what I'm saying? And so, one of the things that I am going to be talking about and teaching in Conquer Learning Company is how to understand how to meet the need that the person has immediately instead of just funneling them through a system that's just going to put a diagnosis on them and give them medicine, right? If you go the traditional route of therapy, that's what they do because they don't get paid unless they diagnose you with something. Whole nother story for a whole nother day. So those are the things that I'm going to be talking about in my company. The first audience that I'm going to be working with is small business owners. So if you are a small business owner, there are going to be trainings that you can license for the employees in your company. I have a book that's coming out with my trademark proprietary framework that's going to teach you how to incorporate life-saving leadership into your company. If you are a social media influencer or an influencer like in the world or a community leader, you have an online community, you have a local community, you're the homeowners association president, anybody like that, I'm going to have specialized trainings for you that teach you how to engage with people, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And if you are a faith-based leader, I am. Yeah. So if you're a faith-based leader, I am reopening my membership called the Love Bridge. The Love Bridge is a faith-based membership that is going to teach you as a faith leader how to incorporate life-saving strategies into your sermons, into your new members class, into all of that stuff. Because of course, I'm a church baby. I grew up in the church. So I know exactly what it takes to get things to where they need to be, right? I want you all to understand that now more than ever, you have a righteous responsibility to hold on to the lives that you have been entrusted with. I want you to understand that people over this next season are not going to be okay. And they may seem okay, but just below the surface, there are so many storms that are brewing in people's lives. And you have a responsibility as a leader to be able to see through those storms and to point people in the direction of the light so that they can make it to the shore, so that they don't drown in the sea of their problems and their situations, right? So, having said that, I am going to pull up. Okay. I am going to pull up I'm going to pull up a couple of things. So the first thing that I'm going to show y'all is how you can connect with my company. So this is me. I'm Nicole. Y'all see me. Same glasses, same earrings, same necklace, same bracelet. Like, it's like that. It's consistency. It's the consistency for me, even though I have on a different shirt, but whatever. Nobody cares about that. So if you are a small business owner, you will be able to book me to come and speak. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I am not doing a keynote. I'm just not. But I will do a training, I will do a fireside chat, I'll do a workshop, I will do all of that at your company, at your Christmas party, wherever, right? The other thing that I have is the life saving hotline list. So if you have hold on. If you have a company, if you are a human being, where is my thing? Oh, if you are a company, if you are a human being, if you have a company, Jesus Christ, and if you are a human being, which you are, I hope you are a human being. Yeah, then you will be able to download the life saving hotline list, and with this you will have access to all of the hotlines that I use in my work every day. I'm sorry, y'all, hold on. Okay, here we go. So this is the hotline list, and I have them for small business owners, influencers, and faith-based leaders, and then just like random people that I see like on the street or whatever. And so you'll be able to download this list and just put it like on your desk or, in your car or wherever. And it's going to give you all of the hotlines and all of the resources that I use every single day in my work. So that's going to be available to you. And then the other thing, hold on. Okay, I'll stop. The other thing that's going to be available to you, of course, I talked about the Love Bridge, which is my membership. And yeah, so let's go back over here. Y'all know this screen sharing stuff be a lot, but it's okay. It's all right. It's okay. Okay, so if you're a faith-based leader, same thing. And then if you're a faith-based leader, you can join the Love Bridge. Lord have mercy. You can join the Love Bridge, and it opens on November the 15th. So like I told you, the Love Bridge is my membership community. It's so amazing. So you can learn all about that. And then the last thing that I want to tell y'all is that I want y'all to understand, like when you see statistics, and I'm going to put all the links to everything in the chat. I think I'm going to try. Can't post comments to some destinations. Okay, so this only went on YouTube, so I'm gonna have to manually put it on Facebook. Okay, so listen. So when you see statistics, right? Like the statistic that one person dies by suicide every 11 minutes. I want you to understand that we all see this stuff as numbers. We all see this as, arbitrary, random numbers of people or whatever, until it hits your house, until it hits your family, until it hits your ministry, right? And then what happens is whenever it hits, everybody is so concerned. Everybody is a mental health crusader. Everybody is whatever. But it's like, had everybody had that mindset before it happened, would it have happened, right? One thing I say all the time is everybody loves you when you're dead. Now, I'm not coming for anybody when I say this, but it's true. I cannot tell you how many times, how many years of my life I have lived in different places, right? And ask people like, hey, come and hang out or come and whatever, right? People don't come and visit me, and it's fine. I've gotten used to it. So like, don't come now because, people don't come and like show up for me. And when I say people, I don't mean everybody, because some people do, but I mean majority of people, right? They don't show up. And it's not just for me, it's for people in general. You see all the time parents on TikTok posting that they had a party for their baby and they invited the class and nobody came, or kid graduates and nobody comes, right? But baby, if I died tomorrow, people would come from Georgia, people would come from Raleigh, people would come from Charlotte, people would come from Maryland, people would come from everywhere right? To look at my unalived body. And if I unalived myself, it would be like, oh my God, Nicole was so amazing. Check on your strong friends. So many people suffer in silence. Oh my goodness, poor baby. Everybody wear purple for Nicole. Suicide prevention. But it's like, sweetie, if you would have acted like that to begin with, the person maybe would have stayed alive. And so I want you to realize that most people are one bad situation away. I mean, a situation or a cocktail of situations from thinking about, contemplating whether their life is worth living. And when you hear statistics, when you hear about mental health, when you hear about crises, when you hear about all of these things going on, I want you to realize that this could be someone in your family and you may not know it. It may be somebody in your family right now saying, if one more bad thing happens to me, that's it. And it may be that you wake up in the morning and you send them a text and say, hey, I was just thinking about you. I hope everything goes well for you this week. You're on my mind. You're in my thoughts. And that one thing could pull them further from the edge. It may not solve all their problems, right? But it may pull them from the edge. And one of the things that I teach in all of my programs is that I'm not saying that you have to do what I do, because I have a particular anointing and a particular skill set. So I'm not saying that you have to go and be like, baby, you are not going to unalive yourself. And if you do, I'm going to raise you from the dead, because what are you even talking about? Like, who do you think you are that you just going to wake up and say that you're going to unalive yourself? Right? Because that's how I talk to people and they are still alive. But anyway, I'm not saying that that's what you're supposed to do, right? But what I am saying is that in your metron, in your sphere of influence, there is work that you need to do. Understand that there are people, when you are a leader, there are people who will listen to you that will not listen to other people. There are people who will take what you say as gold, as the gold standard, as law, right? They won't take what I say that way. And so I'm going into my final part of what I'm going to say. But I just want you to remember the opportunity that you have as we go into this next tumultuous season that we're going through next week and beyond. I want you to understand that you're not just a leader so that you can tell people what to do. You're not a leader just so that you can make money. You're not a leader just so that you can have your own website, right? You're a leader because God saw something in you that could be used to change and to shift and to impact and to save people's lives. And it is my job as the founder of Conquer Learning Company to help you to find that thing and to hone in on it and to sharpen it, so that if you ever encounter someone who is standing in the valley of decision and does not know if they want to live or die, your life, not a script that you read, not a Nicole told me to tell you, not something that you got out of a book, but your literal life will be a light that shines to them and says to them, you know what? If you just hold on. I never promise people that things will get better because I don't know if they'll get better. I don't. I am not the Lord. I read the book. I didn't write it. I don't know. But I can tell you that they can. And because I know that things can get better, I would rather you hold on to the possibility of things getting better than to accept the defeat of them never getting better, right? And so that's something that I teach in my company. You have to remember, I survived over 22 suicide attempts in my lifetime. So I'm not some random person who just woke up one day and was like, oh, I want to be a suicide prevention avenger. My skills and my anointing and the power that I have came from what I went through in my life, right? So now I have founded a company that will literally be next year a global life-saving entity. I have a book right now that I have written that has my framework in it that's being translated into 5 different languages so that when I release my book on January 17th, which is my grandma's birthday, happy birthday to Annie Ruth, God rest your soul. And it's also the day that my Aunt Mary died, God rest her soul. So y'all know I always release something on my grandma's birthday, right? So on my grandma's birthday, January 17th, I'm releasing my thought leadership book. And it is going to immediately, when it comes out, be published in multiple languages. Why? Because I understand something that we, especially as Black women, to all the Black women in here, something that we often forget. We are always saving the world, right? You drill down to most of the stuff that happens that people get bailed out of, you're going to find us somewhere, right? In order for us to do our best work, we have to have money, right? And we always pray like, oh, God, do this for me. And if you give me money, I'll feed the homeless and I'll do this and I'll do that, right? But let's really look at it. Yeah, I'm about to preach a mini sermon. Now, I retired from preaching, but if y'all can take a 3-minute mini sermon, then put preach in the comments. I know it's a 10-second delay, so I'm gonna wait. And then if you don't put preach in the comments, I'm gonna put it in the comments because I'm preach the sermon anyway. But I'm gonna pretend that we have a democracy here. And if you want to hear me preach this 3-minute sermon, then put preach in the comments. Y'all don't want to hear me preach. It's fine. I'm gonna preach it anyway. I'm gonna put it myself. Hold on, let me go to the comments. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Because I don't need it. Hold on. I can toot my own horn. I could tell myself to preach. Y'all ain't got to tell me to preach. Okay, hold on. There we go. Hold up. Boom. Preach, Nicole. Since you asked me to, Nicole, and you were so enthusiastic about it, let me tell y'all. I mean, Nicole then gave me the fire emojis and everything. This girl wants to hear this word tonight. You hear me? See, that's what y'all preachers need to do, because sometimes people don't be wanting to hear y'all preach. And like y'all be thinking they do and they don't. But I'm gonna preach anyway. But like sometimes maybe y'all like, I don't know. Just take a poll. Some Sundays. All right. Not y'all cracking up in the private community. Cause y'all know sometimes you don't be wanting to hear people preach. Like it just be a lot. Y'all done sang all them songs. Okay. Anyway. So the Bible talks about how there was this lady, right? And she was about to die, her and her baby. And so the prophet went to her and he was like, hey, I need you to borrow a whole bunch of vessels. And so you're going to be able to take this oil and sell it, and then you don't have to die, right? Because you'll have this oil and you can sell the oil and you'll have money, right? And he was like, don't borrow a little bit, borrow a lot. And so she borrowed the vessels, and the Bible says that every vessel that she borrowed was filled with the oil. A lot of times we ask the Lord to give us money. We ask the Lord to give us this and that. And we say that, God, if you would give, not y'all telling me to preach now. Hey, Pastor Brenton T. Murphy, it is so great that you are here. I appreciate you. Like a lot of times, we ask God to give us all this stuff. Give me money, give me favor, give me this, give me that. But you don't have a container, right? God is not going to drop the money out of the sky. I mean, God, if you want to drop the money out of the sky, like you can. I'm not saying that like you can't. I'm just using your logic that you gave me. Okay. So you have to have a container, right? For God to fill. Conquer Learning Company is my container. Conquer Learning Company is a thing that I'm saying, okay, God, here's this thing. It can contain millions and billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars, right? So here's my first vessel. I'm doing my grand opening. Here's my second vessel. On Monday, we're opening to the public. Here's my third vessel. Here are all of these vessels for you to fill, because I understand that you are not going to just rain money out of the sky and let it fall on me. And plus, I do not want to get robbed. Do y'all know that if money started falling out the sky, the people would be over here robbing me? So Conquer Learning Company is the container through which I will be able to change the world and employ people and buy people houses and buy people cars and send people to college and do all of these things. So as much as I am in it to keep people alive, as much as I am in it to make sure that people are okay, right? I am also in this so that I can make the greatest impact in the world. So that when my life is over and I watch the movie of my life, because what I believe, people always talk about, oh, you got to give an account. You got to give an account. This is what I believe. I believe that when I die, I'm going to go in this place. And I'm talking about what I believe. So don't get up in church tomorrow talking about Nicole's. I'm talking about me. I ain't telling y'all got to believe this. Don't be arguing with nobody in Sunday school tomorrow about something I done said, because I don't know what's going to happen because I ain't never died. Anyway, I believe that, not y'all laughing, I believe that when I die, I'm going to go into this spiritual boardroom with the Lord. And I believe that God is going to show me what my life could have been, what my life would have been had I done what I was supposed to do. Hey, Byron, had I been the fullest, the greatest expression of who God wanted me to be, right? And I believe that God is going to then do a side-by-side comparison of what my life actually was versus what my life could have been. And I believe that me giving an account to God is me sitting here. Hey, Miss Sharonetta, is me sitting here and saying, wow, God, I could have had this, but I didn't do it because I was afraid. I could have been a billionaire, but I didn't start Conquer Learning Company because I was afraid that nobody would support it because it wasn't a ministry. I could have talked the person out of suicide who was going to have the baby, that was going to cure 17 different diseases with one medication. But that particular day, I was mad at what somebody said to me, so I didn't get on social media and post anything. So the message that person was supposed to see, they couldn't see it because I was mad. I don't see myself giving an account to God, being God standing over my head with a gavel, fussing me out for what I did not do. I see myself giving an account to God as me explaining the gaps between what I could have been and what I am because of what I did not do. And it will never be said of me that I did not start my company. It will never be said of me that I did not scale my company. It will never be said of me that I did not preach the gospel that my company is here to preach. It won't be said of me. Now, there's a lot of stuff that will be said. There's a lot of opportunities that I did not take advantage of. There's a lot of people that I was supposed to reach with my content that I did not reach because I did not post. There's a lot of phone calls that I was supposed to make that I did not make, right? But moving forward in this world and in this life, it will never be said of me that I dropped Conquer Learning Company. That won't be said because I understand the magnitude and the weight of what I am to do and why I am to do it. And I also understand that launching my company days, the weekend before the thing that I won't say, where you go in and you check the little thing and you pick the person. Because y'all know if you say certain words, like it, the thing, y'all know I'm talking about, the thing, Tuesday. I know that this is intentional. I know that everything that is happening, is intentional, right? And so I'm going to be where I'm supposed to be. And I hope and I pray that you're going to be where you're supposed to be. All right. So I'm going to end with this. I promised myself that everywhere I go, when I talk about the Love Bridge, so for those of you who are just joining, hey, the Love Bridge is my faith-based community that opens on November the 15th. It's for anybody who believes in the Lord or not, or, whatever. I believe in the Lord. So in there, we're going to be talking about the Lord and how God works with faith and people not unaliving themselves. So if that's something you're interested in, I posted the link. I'll post it again. Thank you, Miss Sharonetta. I appreciate you. Miss Sharonetta, when I had surgery, y'all, when I almost died in 2020, Miss Sharonetta made me this beautiful basket and it had all this stuff in it. And I really appreciate that. And she came to see me at the hospital. And people don't have to be nice to you. And people don't have to come and see you and stuff. And so I appreciate you, Miss Sharonetta, so much. I really do. Okay, so I posted the links. I'm going to play a video for y'all. And this video is of my darling Hayden C. Jackson. I'm going to play this video for you. And then I'm going to come back and tell you why. And then I'll be done. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, go ahead and post them. Thank you, Miss Sharonetta. Go ahead and post them in the chat while we're watching this video. It's a church song. So like if y'all don't like church songs or y'all don't believe in like Jesus and the blood of Jesus and stuff, then if you want to log off, I understand. Thank you, Pastor Brenton Murphy. I hope and pray that you have a great evening. If you don't want to stick around for the Jesus song, thank you so much for coming. Love and light. Namaste. Peace and blessings to you. All right. So I'm going to play this because I promised myself that I would never. Y'all know the song that talks about how you shouldn't let the name of the Lord go down. It's an old song. Don't let his name go down. That's how I feel about Hayden. Not that I think Hayden's the Lord, but I will never let anybody forget his name. I won't, because I could have been Hayden very easily. Very easily. So I'm going to play this. If you have, I know that's right, Miss Sharon. Miss Sharon said, let me tell you something. I believes in the Lord. Okay. So I'm gonna play this video. Thank y'all so much for coming. I love y'all. All of y'all in the private community and Facebook, on YouTube. I love y'all. On Twitter, X, whatever it is. His daddy named him Twitter, so I'm gonna call him Twitter. But I'm gonna play this song of My Hayden, who I love so much. And then I'm gonna come back and I'm going to say bye. All right. I'm not gonna play the whole thing. I'm just gonna play 2 minutes. So let me just tell y'all. I'm playing this. Normally I tell y'all after, but I'm gonna tell y'all before. I'm playing this because Hayden, a year after this took place, Hayden unalived himself. And he unalived himself because something happened that he did not think he would be able to get over. And it's amazing to me that everyone loved Hayden. Everyone loved what he had to offer. Everyone loved how well he could play. Everyone loved his amazing personality. But when it came down to him needing an intervention, when it came down to his life needing to be spared, his life was not spared. And so the beautiful light, the beautiful gift that he is shut up forever, other than the few remaining pieces that we have of him, right? And in the church and in the world, it's crazy to think about the fact that Hayden will never play another song on this side. And somebody could have saved that baby. Somebody's words, somebody's hug, somebody's resources, somebody's something. Oh Lord, could have spared this baby's life. And so when you're watching this video, I want you to look at how happy Hayden was, how joyful he was, and how everybody loved what he was doing. But let me tell you something. Don't be a leader. And I'm not saying that his leaders were. Okay, I'm talking about this. Don't be a leader that loves the people and what they do, but you don't love the people. Right? Don't be a leader that glories in what people give you, but you don't take the time to make sure that people are okay. Don't be a leader that takes for granted that just because somebody is performing the duties that they always perform, that they are doing all right and that they don't need to be rescued. Because if you study being a lifeguard, they will tell you that the people who are drowning don't look like they are drowning. The people who are drowning often look the most calm. So I'm going to play this video. I'm going to come back and we're going to wrap up. If you have a question or comment, put it in the chat. If you're in the private community, I will pull it up on my phone because I can't see your comments in the feed anymore. But yeah, I'm about to play Hayden. And then we will leave. We will roll out. Woo. All right, here we go. Here we go. Oh, hold on. Let me make sure I'm sharing the audio so y'all can hear my Hayden. Yeah. All right, here we go. Y'all, hold on. Not me doing the most. Okay, here we go.
Somebody say it'll never lose its power.
Y'all, I like of all things, of all things that have ever happened um in the history of me doing what I do. I think what I think what is so hard about that particular thing is that Hayden, now I didn't know Hayden. I didn't know him like that. I knew who he was, but like I didn't talk to him, or anything like that. I knew people who knew him, so I didn't personally know him. And then when everything happened, it just happened, But I think the thing that when you're in church, you see the same people every week. You see the same people multiple times a week. And it just reminds me of how almost every time I tried to unalive myself, it was after church. Almost every time. It was after. And it's like nobody knew. Nobody, as long as I sang, as long as I armor bared, as long as I did the graphics, as long as I did the live stream, it didn't matter what I went through. It didn't matter how I felt. It didn't matter to anyone as long as I did what I was supposed to do in the system. It didn't matter how I felt. And I cannot live on this earth and allow that to be the normal in the people that God has called me to be in relationship with. Because somebody should have known. I don't care. And I'm not blaming anybody, because at the end of the day, we all make our own decisions. But there should be a framework that you have that doesn't let stuff like this slip by. And I can't be mad that there wasn't a framework when I'm supposed to give the, like, you can't be mad at a problem that you have the solution for. You get what I'm saying? You just have to take your indignation, if you will, and put it towards solving the problem. Because if you see people every week, you see people every day, you see people every month, and you're responsible for them, there's no reason that they should feel like something in their life that happens they can't get over, they can't get through, they can't get beyond. And so one thing that I am here to do in my company, Conquer Learning Company, is ensure that you, as a leader, when you encounter somebody like Hayden, and you ask the questions that I teach you to ask, and you do the check-ins that I teach you to do, it doesn't get missed. The world was robbed of every song that Hayden would ever create in his life. Every young musician that Hayden would tutor. Every melody that he would create that would bring people out of darkness. The world was robbed of that, right? And I don't want to be complicit in the world being robbed of anyone else's song, of anyone else's life, of anyone else's work. So that is why I am here. That is why my company is here. And that is why we will be opening for business on Monday. Because we need to keep people in this world. I know the world is not, and I know some of y'all want to go to heaven like real bad. And I get it. Just don't send yourself. Like, wait for God to take you. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying don't go. I'm saying, like, calm down and don't send yourself. Wait for your ride. Okay? That's all I'm saying. But seriously, I just want to make sure that I do my part and that I encourage you to do your part. And that's it, child. I done had these clothes on all day, and I'm about to go get me something to eat. I'm about to call my friends and get some feedback on today. And that's all I got. But I thank y'all for being here. I love y'all so much. I appreciate y'all. And stay tuned. I hope y'all joined the Conquer Learning Company email list, because I put the link in the comments for y'all to do that, just so that y'all can keep up with what's going on. And when we open for business and you start seeing what we're doing, and you feel led or you feel like supporting, support. Black Friday, while y'all buying all them TVs, buy you some life-saving stuff. Buy you a Don't Kill Yourself t-shirt. Can y'all put me $27.22 aside to buy a Don't Kill Yourself t-shirt? Thank you. Christmas time, you looking for somebody to support to make you feel good? Support Conquer Learning Company. I would appreciate it. The world would appreciate it. Everybody would appreciate it. Boom, boom. He would appreciate it, because that Christmas list is... But seriously, y'all. Seriously. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for sticking around. I love y'all. If I can ever be of service to you, if Conquer Learning Company can ever be of service to you, let me know. I have a free training for faith-based leaders that drops on November the 13th. So be on the lookout for that. I have some other stuff that I'm going to be doing. So just like follow me on social media. Y'all know how we get down. Y'all know how we, So yeah. But other than that, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. And I hope y'all have an amazing night. Thank y'all so much for being here. Talk soon. Bye.